All right, you're welcome to Heroic Online Institute. My students have started submitting their front-end projects, front-end web development project. Okay, so I'm about to edit the first front-end web development project submitted by one of my students, the Sage. Okay, I'm proud of him. He's doing so well. I'm pretty proud of him. So I want to do a few corrections here and there. But I've gone through the project and he is actually doing well. If he continues this way, he's going to go far. Okay? That said, now the Sage, I'm so proud of you, my brother. Okay, so let's quickly do some correction, just one or two corrections here and there. Otherwise, you try it. Okay? All right. Let me start from your logo. Your logo is good, even though you seem to be changing logo every day. Because I saw the one you were using before. This wasn't the one you were using before. You changed this one newly. That's okay. Sage Solution Concept. That's okay. But I was thinking, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm saying. If there should be, okay, it seems you want this S and this to be so close to this logo. Otherwise, if I'm the one doing it, I would have shifted it a little bit. Maybe this is how you want it to be. But I'm just looking at a point that there's supposed to be a kind of space here. Okay, but it's still on you. It's still what you want. Okay, it depends on what you want. So that's by the way. Now, this menu, the menu is great, but I'm thinking if you should kind of the size is okay. If you want it to be this size, it's okay. You understand me? Okay, but you might kind of consider giving little more spaces between the menu. But it's okay if you want to leave it like this, leave it like this. But if you can give a little more spaces between then and reduce the size a little, just a little bit, then it will be perfect. But it's okay, right? It's okay. I'm just looking at them, just pointing out a few things. Then here, I'm also thinking if you should give more space. There's need for you to give more space here between this learn what matters now and this. There should be more space. Okay, give more space between. Okay, so that this one will stand out. Okay, this one will stand out on its own. The same thing here. There should be space between this paragraph and this button. There should be space. Okay, enough space. So the same space here will be the same space from here to here. The space we're going to give from here to here, it should be the same you're going to give from here to here. So what you might consider doing is just this paragraph, target this paragraph, then you give margin, top and bottom margin. Okay, so just type in, just put margin, then put, let's say margin, you put like let's say 50 pixel for top and bottom, then left and right to make it 0 pixel. Okay, so that it will shift 50 pixel up, 50 pixel down here, or 40 pixel. Just test the two to see how it is. Or 50 pixel with too much. Give like 20, 30 pixel there about 20, 30 pixel and check for the margin. Okay, and see how it is. Then coming to the button here. You know, when you start developing a site, there is need for you to consider the kind of button you want to use for, or at least everything, everywhere in that site, the nature of the button, whether you want it to be curved button like this one, the way it is curved, right, this, or whether you want it to be just lightly curved, whether it depends on the kind of button you want to use. And when you decide the button you are going to use, you use it everywhere in your website, so that it will be consistent. So you don't use this kind of button here and quickly change it there, unless if there is extraordinary reason why you should. Otherwise, use the same button for almost every part of your website. Okay, that's one. Then two, padding you give to this button. I think you need to add more here. Left top and bottom padding, little more top and bottom. Okay, little more padding here and there. Okay, top and bottom, add little more padding there, and make sure that the top padding and bottom padding, that they are equal, they are the same. Okay, so that's it. All right. Okay, this button and this button, they are okay. but I'm thinking instead of putting gray color here, you leave it at white so it will blend with this white background. White, okay, but this one is still nice. Okay, so I'm just trying to point out few things. All right, okay, if you can give little more space here and here, yeah, that would be fine. Okay, then another thing here is the margin from here, the margin from here down here is just more. It should be the same margin here. Since we are using a margin from here to here, this from here to here should be about 50 pixels, right? From here to here, we should use 50 pixels for all, not margin. Okay, it can be margin or padding. It depends on what we are using. If you are using padding for this, then use padding. Just make it 50 pixels for all the div you created. Like this div, this div that define this section, you have padding of 50 pixel top and bottom, maybe left and right if you want to do it that way. Then the same thing with this particular division. Okay, 50 pixel top and bottom. Don't make this heading to be very close to the line here, I mean to this padding, sorry, this section. Okay, make sure that the padding above here from here to here is the same with this one from here. Then this is supposed to start somewhere here, you understand? Okay, and again this is not centered. You see that why learn code is shifting this way. It is not at the same. It's supposed to be at the, supposed to start somewhere here and end somewhere here. Okay, so it's supposed to start somewhere here. So it is not centered. So try to center it. Try to center it. Then one more thing here is when you look at this, you find out that this is curved down here. This is curved down here, curved. But above, it wasn't curved. Maybe it's your style, it's how you want it to be. Otherwise I would have suggested that you curve it this way. Okay, curve it this way. Okay, and I believe you know how to do that because I saw where you did it in the course, in your course. Okay, so it's all about you make it, you put the overflow hidden so that it will be hidden, overflow. Okay, so the overflow will be hidden, so that, but if you want it this way, not bad. Okay, so then that is it. Then another one here is this, it's universal. I think should increase the size, this high demand, the same way with this, the same with this high demand, and with this it's awesome. Then this there should be a space whenever you add a heading, like this is a heading. Okay, there should be space, so you should give like margin, bottom margin to this, so that you have a space, maybe 20 pixel bottom margin, or you check if it is too much, then you reduce it a bit. Okay, bottom margin, give bottom margin here, bottom margin, so that this will stand out. This will be a bit far from this plus this one, you understand me? And you see where this picture stops. This picture actually stops here. You see that it stops here, so since the picture stops here, since the pictures, you see how where the picture stops, the heading, they're supposed to be padded. The heading doesn't supposed to start immediately after the picture, as if it's almost touching the picture. So you should also give it I think this what you have to do is this heading, you have to give it padding, top and bottom padding of, let's say, 10 pixels top and bottom, to shift it a little bit from the picture and a little bit from the this paragraph. Okay, so that is it. Once you do it, you've gotten. Then one more thing is this, once you shift this paragraph, you see if you will add a little bit line height as a line space. I believe you know how to add it, just line height, then you put the value you want to put there. Okay, so that it will space a little bit. Same with this one, no space. What I found out as the challenge you're having is the challenge of the padding and the margin you should add, and where you should add padding and margin. Okay, always know that if for your design to be nice, if you need to always consider spaces. Okay, if you study graphic design, where you see that graphic design there is need for space. Okay, here and here, that is exactly the same principle. It's also applied here. Okay, so you should give space. There should be a good space, very good space, at least let's say from here to somewhere here. before you type in this. You understand? And this button, like I told you, you should maintain the same pattern here. Okay, you should maintain the same pattern, this curve, very important. Okay, so that you won't use different button here and there, just use the same, maintain the same pattern so it will look great. Okay, like I say, all the padding should be equal. This padding, you have to maintain the same space with this padding. It may use 50 pixels for all the padding from here, or margin, whatever, but I think you use padding, right? We're here to here, padding to maintain 50 pixel padding. Okay, 50 pixel padding here, 50 pixel padding from here to here. You understand me? 50 pixel padding from where this section stops to. You understand? It will give it a good breathing space. Okay, same with this. You see this heading now, this particular one you colored, there should be space. To give it space, and this and I think, okay, there's no, and this, okay, they are the same color, they are the same size, yeah, but you should give space between this and this, very important. Then you give line height to this too, line height, you give line height to this. Okay, the same thing here, there should be space, there should be margin space, bottom margin for this mission, this value. Then you give line height. You see this, the line height, this paragraph doesn't actually have a good line height. When I say line height, I mean spaces. Okay, line space, you understand? So space out the line a little bit to make it make sense. So if you watch, you see that space, from space, the padding on the top padding is smaller than the bottom padding, which is not supposed to be. The padding here and padding here should be the same. So this div, what you have to do, you have to give 50 pixel padding for top and bottom for this div, so that both will be the same, to maintain the same padding. Okay, just see that where you're having weakness. Now I just want you to identify your weaknesses so that you continue to improve. Okay, where you're having weakness here is where, I mean, the kind of pattern, the padding to add to your website. Okay, the spaces, the margin, the padding to add, the spaces to add, where to add spaces and all. Okay, then you see this button, you get it, but I think there should be more padding here and here. Top and bottom padding, they are okay, but left and right padding, they are not okay. You need to add more. Okay, so you see that this line space we got, if you can add the same line space, you see, add the same line space here, you get it. And I don't think that this size and this size are not the same. Use this size for this seems to be bigger, so use this size, this particular size here, use it here. There should be the same size. Okay, all right, so that's said. Then you come here now, you see that there should be space, there should be padding again here. At least this paragraph is supposed to stop here. You see that? So you have space between this and the picture, but it's touching the picture. So you've seen generally that the challenge you have is challenge of knowing where to add the padding and where to add the spaces. Okay, but I believe with these corrections I'm making, you will understand. Okay, it's all right. Then the same top and bottom padding, add more padding here and make this to be the same size with this, the same size with this one somehow. Okay, they should maintain the same size somehow. Do you understand? Good. Otherwise you try. Then this paragraph seems to be big. Reduce the size, as in this size will be okay, or even reduce it a little bit, not more. Okay, it seems to be big. And again, there should be margin. Okay, there should be margin space, margin, bottom margin before this paragraph. Okay, after this heading, so just select this heading, select the heading, then add bottom margin, so that it will shift these ones down. There should be space between this and this, and reduce the size of these ones. Okay, try to reduce it. And this one, you might also consider reducing the size. Always make this one to look tiny, small. Okay, That said, I think I've perfected the corrections here. If you can do this so well, then I think you get it. Then let's look at other things. What I just said applies to all others. You see this pattern again. You might also consider giving it the same pattern, other 50 pixel pattern. Okay, from here to here, then this one will start. Okay, maybe you can close up this margin a little bit. This margin, you see what I mean? This space, whether it is margin or padding, whichever it is, just close it up a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, so that what you will do is that make this space, this particular space to be, make this space to be the same size with this space I'm looking at now. Let them be the same. Okay, this space and this space should be the same. You understand me? Okay, then another thing is this one's the same space is spacing issue. The same spacing issue. There should be space between this and this amount, and there should also be space between this amount and this in row. Now increase the size of this button. Try to make it to be almost the same size and possibly the same size with this one here. You understand? Let the buttons not be different sizes. Okay, let the buttons not be different sizes. Try to make the buttons to be almost the same sizes. You understand me? So your button is tiny. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, so that's it. And just give spaces here. You understand? But you truly try here. The way you added the picture makes sense. I like it. So I think so you see this button is different from the buttons you've been using. So if you want to use this particular curve button, use it. If this is the kind of the button you want to use it for all your buttons. Okay, don't use different button here and there. Okay, just use one straight button and here you go. Okay, so that said, I think every other ones, just apply this principle I just mentioned to all other. So you see line spacing, you need to give like this. The paragraph you gave here, they are big paragraph. Maybe you seem to use a break for your paragraph here. If you use break because for this space, just remove that break, remove it. Then all you need to do is just to select this paragraph. Maybe give this paragraph, give the div that is housing this paragraph, give it a class. And you can now use that class to target the paragraph. You can say, let's see, if you give it maybe affiliate container class, you can target it with affiliate container p. Okay, then it will target the paragraph. Then you can now give the paragraph button margin. Okay, when you give a button margin, it will create good space, equal spaces between the paragraph. But these spaces you created seem to be a bit larger, and you didn't actually you didn't add enough space, line space. Okay, line height. Okay, that is line space. Okay, you didn't add enough of it here, so do that. Okay, do that. I think this space you add here is okay, but line space is not okay. Add good line space here. Okay, maybe you can close up this space a little bit if you want to. Otherwise, it's not too bad. It's still, I think it's okay. But line height is what you're going to consider. Add line heights. Okay, and this padding again, the same thing. Just consider generally your work padding. This padding for section. Try to make padding for section at least 50 pixels, so that this section from here to here will be 50 pixel sections. Okay, 50 pixel. 50 pixels. Do you understand me? Good. It's important that you do it that way. Okay, like this one now, you see 50 pixels. From here to here, it should be about 50 pixels. From here to here, it should be about. You see, they are equal from here to here. From here to. That's what I'm talking about. So what you use this one padding for all sections, all sections. When I say sections, I mean this is a section. This is a section. Okay, this one from here to here, there are sections. This is a section. Okay, this is a section. This is a section. Okay, but this one is a navigation, so you shouldn't have bigger padding. Okay, the way it is perfect. You did a good job. Maybe you might also consider reducing this. Though it's nice. Okay, but if you can consider, reducing this a little bit to the logo a little bit, so that this will not be too big. But if you want it to be big, still nice. Some websites are big like this. Okay, but if you can reduce a little bit, that will also make sense. Okay, I think let me check other ones. About us, I had the same problem of padding. Okay, 50 pixel padding for sections. Okay, and the line height, that's the same problem you have. These ones are okay. Okay, so you see, generally it's the same problem of line height, padding, and button. Okay, once you're able to solve that, then you're good to go. Okay, and this one also, this is tiny. This text, whatever you are going to type here is going to be tiny. Try to increase the size, try to increase the font size of this. Okay, increase the font size. Then maybe you can also increase the spacing, the padding of this, so that this text field will be bigger. Okay, the text field will be bigger than it is now. Okay, and I will also advise, if possible, you also give this one a curve, because these ones are curved. Give this one a curve also to maintain congruence. Then this green button you added here, the green button didn't seem to blend well with this color. It would have blended well with white color. Okay, but I would have advised you to change this color of green. Okay, and again, padding top and bottom, you have to increase the top and bottom padding a little bit. Okay, if you go to here now, you give it this color. Okay, give it this color. Okay, but if you want it to maintain that green, maybe you need to change the background of that contact. Okay, so that's by the way. Then that's it. These ones are nice. Okay, this one, spacing, you're supposed to space this center alignment, not spacing, sorry, alignment. Make it to be centered, because this is centered, this is centered, so this one should be centered also. Okay, let them not be one side, to be centered like their fellows. Okay, so center this, center this, center this. All right, I think I've perfected it. Then sign up. I think you tried, but you consider this button again. If you're using completely curved button, use it for all. Then send this font to this particular font. Like I told you, format button, just one button. Once you format a button, you start using it for all. Start using the same button. Okay, the same button for everything you are doing. Okay, maybe you can format, like if you come here now, you see this button. Let's go to the home page now. If you come here, you see this button now. Maybe you can format the button. You can create a button class, maybe main button class, then format it to look like this. Then you can now create another button class, maybe you call it a light button class. Okay, then you format it to look like this. So if you want to, in any place in your website where you want to use a button, you decide whether you want to use this one or this one. If you want to use this one, then you can now add light button class to the class of that button you enter. It will convert it to this immediately. If you want to use this one, you add main button class to that button you created. It will convert it to this. So just one format, one button class will serve for all. You don't need to be formatting styling button all the buttons you create differently. Okay, just two button class you create, then you can use either dark button class or light button class, depending on what you want for all your job. Like I advised you, if you can consider making this, removing this gray background, leave it white, then it will not have this outline as it is. And when it has this outline, means that maybe you might consider changing this black color to the color of this color. You understand me? If you visit other websites, you see stuff like this, a button like that. Okay, so this color will be the same color with this. You understand me? Stuff like if you see this one, you see that the background is this color, while this one is white. So when it's a kind of inverse of this one. Like when you turn this one inverse, what it will be is that the outline will be this color, then background will be white, while the text will be this color. That's this lemon color. You understand? If you're able to take your time, do all these things well, then you are true. Okay, then I will take my time to explain to you how to make the video. You don't need to send this back to me again. Once you are done with all these corrections, then I will tell you guys later how to upload it to YouTube. Okay, how to make video presentation and upload to YouTube. Okay, congratulations. I must congratulate you. You are doing so well. You are doing it shows that you are visionary and you know where you are going and you will get there. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much.